Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. And now, Financial Renaissance with the M's.
You're listening to us live on ssnatl.com, also sensationstationnetwork.com, and you can follow me on social media at Emma Knows Money on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and my YouTube page. Again, thank you to my first 500 subscribers. And Kia, how do people find you on social media?
All things Kia Comedy, and my website is kiabarnes.com for all of my events, shows, all of that.
Are you a model? I was looking at your website and I was like, dang, you're cute.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, look, it's right here.
You're
gorgeous.
Very much. Thank you. I try to do a
You
little
look real
something
serious though.
I am.
You look real serious. But yeah. So let's going into the new year. One of the things that you want to focus on is going to be passion budgeting, and that's where you do a budget. And most people don't like budgets, but it's like diets. You know, if you're going to change how you eat to slim down or to just be healthy, same thing with budgeting. You cannot move ahead if you don't know or are not tracking the dollars that you have coming into your house and the dollars that are leaving your house. And passion budgeting is a little bit different because you're going to start with the things that you like to do first. Okay, so if you like watching scary movies, right? If you like going to scary movies, make movies part of your budget, and that goes at the top. So let's say you like going to the fancy movie theaters with the 5-star restaurant and all that. So you carve out $200 a month, boom, movies, right? And then the next thing that you like to do, dining out, that's another $200, boom. So we got movies and entertainment, we got dining out. I like to smoke cigars and drink, so that's another $200. So now we got $600, that's just for entertainment, right? Then you start filling everything else in. And then the thing that you like the least, you put at the bottom. And for some people, it may be where you live. It may be the car that you drive. It may be if you're renting office space, you may need to consider switching office space. But when you do passion budgeting, start with what you love and something that gives you, some warmness in your heart about doing. Like I like to do stuff with charities. So for me, it's not just money, it's also time. But that's in my budget because my time is my money. I mean, right. That's just how it is. So I kind of budget as to how much time I'm going to be given to certain charities on a monthly basis. So that's something that you can do there.
I think that's what a lot of us, especially my generation, is just doing that naturally. Nobody even had to tell us to do it.
Oh yeah, you guys are you're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
Right.
So a lot of young people, you have all types of apps to analyze your spending. You have all types of, there's different devices to do stuff. So you don't have to write everything down. But again, when it comes to budgeting, I do tell people to write it down because it wires it into your brain as well. And then also think about income. So budgeting isn't only about the expenses, but also you could look at your income and figure out how to come up with passion projects to have extra income coming in so that you can do the things that you love. So if you have a regular 9 to 5, nobody has a regular 9 to 5, but if you have a 9 to 6 or a 9 to 7, what can you do after that? And there are, we talked about on the show, over 150 gig jobs that you can get that involve your app. So right. You don't have to go work at a retail store, like no wearing name tags, right. No name tags. You don't have to wear name tags and uniforms anymore. You can do stuff online. Like you can write jokes.
Right. Or drive for Lyft or Uber Eats or simple things like that.
Yeah, or you can tutor kids in South Korea and China. I think you can make about $1,000 a month doing stuff like that. You can also, if you're great in English, you can be a copywriter, you can be an editor. If you have a great voice, you can do voiceovers, things like that. So there's always a way to make money. And as I've been saying for the whole year, the recession is coming. Oh, it may not come for another 6 months. It may not come for another year. But the things that you need to focus on are paying down as much debt as you possibly can, getting your credit score right, and getting ready for the recession, because when it comes, it's the come up. You said, right. What was it? The top 1%,
their wealth grew by 25%. In the past year. 25%, and they're already filthy, stinking rich.
Correct.
Meanwhile, we are out here struggling. It's real.
Yeah, it is real. There's a lot of things that are going to be changing in our country, and we just have to be prepared for it. So the things that you need to do, again, is track your dollars, right? Always track what you have coming in, track what's going to be going out, plan for any snafus that may happen, and also learn how to just say no. Plain and simple. Just learn how to say no to your family and friends. They can't borrow money from you. If they do borrow money from you, charge them interest. Charge them 5 or 10%. Make them not want to borrow from you again. Tell them no or charge them interest, okay? That usually puts the kibosh on that. And then look at your budget. Look at where you're spending your money. So, when the M&O's money, I said, hey, track your expenses for 1 month. But the real deal is once we go into next year, after you track your budget or your spending for January, I want you to go back and look at October, November, and December. Those are the most expensive months of the year because we have Thanksgiving and we have Christmas. There's a lot of gifts. Take what you spent on average in October, November, and December. Average that amount and then divide that by 12, and then that's your monthly budget, and that's what you budget from. Always make sure that you're planning for the holidays, for the Valentine's Day, President's Day. I don't know anybody that gives gifts on President's Day, but Mother's Day, Father's Day, Grandparents' Day, Assistant Day, Boss Day. There's a day for everything.
I messed up, and I don't want you to be mad at me day, so I'm gonna go get some flowers day.
Yeah, that should just be wired into your budget. And the other thing, if you're married or coupled, the other thing that you have to have wired into your budget is date night.
Period.
Whether you have kids or don't have kids, once a month you have to leave the house. You have to leave everything behind, and you got to go out and just spend the time with the two of you. That is so important. Like, I've been in business. I've had my been practicing for about 20 years now, and I've only had maybe 3 couples divorce. That's better than the national average.
It absolutely is.
Thank you.
And you were talking about saying no. The thing that I'm going to say no to in 2020 will be passion budgeting, because I believe that it's been all my life.
You're going to say no to passion budgeting?
I'm going to say no to it because, at some point, we have to start setting aside more, especially if we know this recession is coming. Mm-hmm. And I would much rather have that money saved than have spent it, than blown $600 on random good times. I'm just there right now, just at this moment, just right now. That's what 2020. I will document every single dime I spend, and I'm gonna show it to you.
Oh, I'm gonna look for it.
I'm gonna.
Cash, scratch, green. Benjamins, assets, income.